So I worked at 3 retailers that later filed for bankruptcy. I wanted to tell you what I saw, and more importantly, I think what I missed, right? Because you need to carry something into the future if you've been through a traumatic or dramatic event. Quick intro who I am. My name is Satya. I've been a designer, turned a CEO. I grew several retail brands. The most recent one, I was the CEO of Select Blinds. Before that, I ran digital inside some very big names. Unfortunately, some of them did not make it. And this is what today is about, because hindsight is always 20/20, right? There are 3 big ones that I worked for: JCPenney, Art Van Furniture, and then Conn's HomePlus. I was there. Not always at the very end, but close enough to see the cracks. Let's start with Art Van Furniture, right? So when I got there, it was a beloved Midwestern brand based in Detroit. A private equity, along with the bank and a few others, had just bought them. To pay for the deal, they basically sold the buildings and the company that was owned. Then they rented those same buildings back. And then they loaded the company with debt, hundreds of millions of dollars. So now every single year, the company had to have a great year, not just a great year, an exceptional year, just to cover the rent and the interest. There was no room to be wrong. It had to be a phenomenal success every year. And then 2020 arrived, right? And then the cushion was already gone. Art Van filed for bankruptcy that March, I believe. And here's what I learned, from that experience. Again, this is not a reflection on the PE group, but it's more on, what I missed. A balance sheet can kill a good brand. The customers still loved the brand. The math just stopped working. Now, JCPenney. I worked for this, $10+ billion company where $2 billion was coming from digital alone across about 900 stores. We built a good thing, right? I mean, we built some phenomenal things. The app, the website, the checkout. But we were moving furniture around in a ship that was already taking in water. The real problem was not digital, right? It was just too many stores, too much cost, and a customer, I believe, was just walking away. A better website could not have outrun that. And JCPenney, obviously, you guys know the story. JCPenney filed for bankruptcy in 2020, May of 2020. Here's what I got wrong. I believed a great digital experience could save the whole business. That was inside my head. It could not, right? The digital is a multiplier. It's not a rescue boat. And Conn's HomePlus. Conn sold furniture and electronics and home appliances. But if you look closely, Conn's really sold credit. Most customers could not pay cash, so the company loaned them the money. When times were good, that worked. When the customers could not pay it back, it did not. I was the chief digital officer there. I focused on the site, the experience, but the real engine and the real risk was the lending. Conn's filed for bankruptcy, I believe, in 2024 and closed every single store. Here is what I learned. Always ask how a company really makes its money, right? Follow the money, they say. And always ask what happens when the customer runs out of room. So what is the pattern? 3 times, I was brought in to help and fix the digital experiences. 3 times, the thing that actually mattered was underneath it. Debt, store count, and lending. The stuff nobody wanted to raise in the digital meeting. The lesson I carry now as the CEO and as an advisor is really, really simple. Look at the engine and the balance sheet first. The website is the last 10% It is not the first. If you take one thing from this, take this. A great brand can still go broke. Watch the money, not just the marketing. I think marketing is really important, right? Where you spend, how you spend, where you get your customer and all that. That front row seat cost 3 companies to earn. Now I help founders and CEOs read their own engine before it breaks.